You think silence is nothing. You think that if you stop talking, she stops caring. And that's exactly what most guys get wrong. They're stuck on the idea that connection means constantly explaining, constantly chasing. They're talking their way into less respect every single day. But here's the twist. The powerful men know that when you go quiet the right way, her mind gets loud, very loud. It's not loud with anger. It's loud with questions. Why is he calm? Did I lose him? Was he stronger than I thought? That internal noise is the power most men never use because they're too busy trying to explain themselves, trying to convince her of their value. Not you. Not today. In the next 4 minutes, I'll show you the simple psychology behind why your silence actually pulls her in, why it makes her rethink her choices, and why chasing that predictable, needy behavior ruins that effect every single time. This isn't about playing games. This is about holding your frame. It's about getting clarity. If you've ever felt confused by mixed signals, or you're just tired of talking your way into a position of less power, stay right here. At the end of this, you'll see the pattern. You'll see exactly where you gave away your power, and more importantly, you'll know how to get it back, calmly. No drama, no tricks. Ready? Now, before we dive into the core strategy, I have to give you a quick reminder. Everything you learn in these YouTube videos is just scratching the surface. If you're serious about building real, sustainable attraction and mastering the whole dating game, from the first approach to long-term dynamics, my full online course is available now. You won't find this level of depth here on YouTube. It's the full operating manual. Click the link in the description to enroll and start improving your dating life today. Let's dive in. Point number 1. When you go silent, her mind panics. Now let's dive into the engine room. This is the psychology that turns your absence into attraction. This isn't passive ignoring. This is a deliberate, targeted withdrawal that redirects all of her mental energy back onto herself and onto her relationship with you. When you go silent, the first impact is deceptively soft. She shrugs it off. She posts something bright, laughs a shade too loud on the phone, convinces her friends she's unbothered. And for a few hours, that rehearsal feels like reality. But silence doesn't announce itself with thunder. It seeps. It seeps like cold through an open window, slowly chilling her sense of certainty. The moment the crowd goes quiet, the moment her phone screen goes dark, your absence begins to press against the walls of her certainty. What truly unsettles her isn't the lack of words, it's the lack of readability. She cannot predict you. She cannot decode your pulse. She cannot tilt the conversation to recenter her control. This is a critical distinction. It's not about missing you. It's about losing the ability to manage you. Her last messages, the ones she sent with confidence, they replay with new weight. The timing of your last few responses becomes a timeline of clues. Your last goodbye, which felt casual on the surface, now suddenly tastes like finality. Her ego insists you'll crawl back to the familiar pattern, but her intuition whispers that you've stepped into something different, a calm that carries edges. This is the absolute moment of maximum danger for most men. This is where they relapse. The fear of being misunderstood, the discomfort of her silence, the urge to check on her, it drags them back onto the stage to explain themselves into exhaustion. They rush in to provide clarity, to apologize for being confusing, to sacrifice their peace for her certainty. But the Stoic man understands this deeply. An explanation offered to someone committed to misunderstanding you is just fuel for their fire. They will use your words to debate you further, to drag you back down to their emotional level. The practice here is restraint with purpose. You are not weaponizing silence to punish her. Never. You are withdrawing to purify the dynamic, to let the noise settle until the truth is audible again. You are simply stepping away from the negotiation. And as the hours stretch without your predictable good morning, the questions multiply. The story she told herself, that she was irreplaceable, that you were dependent. It starts to wobble. The panic doesn't arrive as big, theatrical tears. It arrives as scrolling. It arrives as checking your social media. It arrives as that tightness just under the ribs. When certainty loses its balance and pride has no sturdy chair to sit on. This internal instability is the foundation for the next stage. Uncertainty is the mind's most expensive addiction, and your silence is its perfect supplier. Deprived of your consistent, predictable responses, her brain drafts possibilities at a rapid, merciless pace. The possibilities are always binary, always extreme. He's angry. He's calm. He's done. He's testing me. He met someone better. He finally saw through the performance. And none of those fantasies offer her peace. Why? Because uncertainty feeds on itself. It turns yesterday's overwhelming confidence into today's nagging, self-inflicted interrogation. She will visit old message threads like a detective visits a crime scene. She reads timestamps like prophecies. She scrolls your social media stories for context that simply isn't there. Every gap, every moment of your absence gains a dramatic soundtrack. Because when imagination directs the film, fear writes the script. Now, here is the insight that most men miss. They see her distress, and their instinct is to rush in and rescue her from discomfort. They want to be the white knight who stops the spiral. But your job is absolutely not to interrupt that spiral. The spiral is the teacher you could never be. It is the stark, undeniable lesson that your energy, the energy you were so quick to give away, had climate control power in her emotional weather. She is learning, in isolation, how much your stability mattered. This moment is about leveraging her internal process for your external growth. Practically, you must protect your center. Reduce your digital footprint. Channel those idle fingers, that nervous energy, into deliberate, tangible work. This is the time for gym, craft, reading, revenue, prayer, cold showers, longer walks without headphones. This isn't about looking detached. This is about becoming the man who no longer requires external noise to confirm his internal worth. Every hour you don't appease her uncertainty with crumbs, a subtle like, a passive post, a quick check-in, is an hour your own nervous system learns a deeper, richer calm. And while she paces inside the maze of what-ifs, you are busy widening the path of who-ifs. Who you could be when peace, not validation, is the oxygen you breathe. This self-work is the true engine of attraction. Detachment isn't frostiness, it's fire under control. The heat is still there. It simply serves you now. This is the point where you stop negotiating your value in the marketplace of her fleeting moods. You stop renting your self-respect to temporary interest. Most importantly, you stop subsidizing disrespect with access. If she treated you poorly, you were always there. Now you are not. The signal she receives, even from a distance, is startlingly clear. Your rhythm no longer syncs to her songs. She has lost the conductor's baton. She will test this new boundary. This is inevitable. She'll try soft entries, a harmless emoji, a nostalgic video reel, a text saying she ran into your favorite coffee place. Be aware. These are not always because she misses you. Often, it's because she misses what your attention did to her own reflection. She misses the comfortable feeling of being desired by you. Your work is to stay absolutely congruent. Reply only when it honors your standard. And when you do, reply like a man who has air in his lungs and time on his side, short, kind, unneedy, with a pace that says, "My life is full," because it genuinely is. The psychology beneath this is simple and brutal, and you must internalize it. People value what they can lose. And nothing makes value more visible than scarcity paired with dignity. You are scarce, and you behave with dignity. This combination is magnetic. Let's discuss practical framing for this stage. Decide your rules in daylight so you do not bargain in midnight feelings. No late night emotional audits. No double texting. No reactive posts meant to make her jealous. No passive-aggressive breadcrumbs. Keep your calendar noisy with purpose. Appointments, work, self-improvement, so your phone can stay quiet with power. By the time she notices that words aren't pulling you back into her orbit, she will begin to feel what you discovered first: the difference between being entertained and being enriched. And detachment, properly trained, is enrichment disguised as distance. Attraction is not born in applause. It is born in uncertainty paired with respect. This is the sacred zone where she cannot predict you, but she cannot dismiss you either. Your silence, carried with composure, builds that zone brick by unreactive brick. The man who once flooded her notifications with oxygen now stands like a lighthouse. No horns, no drama, no flashing distress signals. Just a steady light on a fixed rock. And ships, even prideful ones, steer by lighthouses at night. She will begin to romantically re-evaluate the calm she once mocked, to revalue the patience she tested, to grieve the reliability she stretched thin. Why? Because memory edits itself in the presence of scarcity. Her mind will filter out the mundane conflicts and amplify the positive memory of your stability. Notice the shift in her language. It goes from declarative and dismissive, "I know him. He's predictable," to inquisitive and exploratory, "I might have misread him. What is he doing?" That soft pivot is exactly where desire hides. Your discipline here is not to cash out early. Do not exchange a little attention for a lot of ground lost. Do not jump back into the old pattern the second she sends the first genuine message. You must remain warm but rare. You are principled without performance. You allow the quality of your silence to validate the quality of your eventual presence. A final practical edge for this stage: answer invitations that respect your time and value your presence. Decline the bait that seeks to rent your peace. Let your measurable improvements, body tighter, schedule sharper, money cleaner, spirit steadier, carry the story your mouth no longer needs to tell. Reversal isn't a trick. It is a return to your center, to earned standards, to the simple equation that attention without appreciation becomes erosion. And you, my friend, do not erode anymore. You build. This is the mechanism. This is the action. Silence is the most honest mirror because it reflects without commentary. In its glass, she sees the scenes she preferred to crop, the unanswered kindness, the little humiliations, the certainty she once confused for weakness. And guilt arrives, not always with confession, but with comparison. She begins to measure other men against the stability you once provided. Steadiness, like clean water, is only truly noticed after thirst. The psychology here is not revenge, it's resonance. When a negative behavior no longer receives payment, the nervous system notices its debt. This journey is your rebirth. By the time the world catches the update, you've already shipped the new build. The man who once leaked power in tiny concessions now holds pressure like a deep-sea hole. Resurrection isn't a spectacle. It's maintenance. 1,000 unphotographed choices that stack into a steady floor. And from that floor, your presence rises without announcement. The reward is not that she finally understands you. The reward is that you finally understand you. And the man who understands himself becomes a home he does not abandon for temporary rooms. In the end, silence proves what speeches only promise: that a man's worth is safest in his habits, not in someone else's hands. Let the record show that you did not punish, you prioritized. You did not ghost, you grew. If she asks what changed, you offer a sentence that fits in your chest: I chose quiet where I used to choose chaos. Let the silence speak for you now, in your posture, in your schedule, in your standards. And watch how quickly the world raises its volume, just to hear what a grounded man refuses to shout. If you're ready to take your dating life to the next level, my full online course is waiting for you. It's packed with powerful strategies you won't find on YouTube. Click the link in the description and start mastering the game today. See you in the next video.